So I'm curious if anyone else noticed in Ephesians 2 where he talks about in times past you walked according to the course of the world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. And then we get down here and he says, remember that you being in times past Gentiles in the flesh. So in the past you were a Gentile, but we're in the present future now, so that's changed. You're no longer a Gentile. And at the time that you were without Christ, this time up here, whenever you were still a Gentile, you were also aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. So when you were a Gentile, you were without Christ, you were not in the commonwealth of Israel, and you were a stranger from the covenants of promise, because all of the covenants of promise are with Israel, and you had no hope and without God in the world. But now, in Christ Jesus, so no longer all of these things up here, you're now not those things. So you can be reconciled to God. And so, therefore, you're no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens of the household of God with the saints. So if before you weren't in Israel, but now you are in Israel, wouldn't that mean that the law that's only for the Israelites be for you? Something to think about. Also, the two becoming one and the enmity and making peace, this is in reference to the two sticks of Ezekiel 37, the valley of dry bones. See, Ezekiel has to take these two sticks and he writes on one for Judah and one Ephraim, which is for the house of Israel. That's why they're called Jews, because it's short for Judah. Israel still has not, to this day, been rejoined with the house of Judah. That's why we still call them Jews. Otherwise, we'd call them Hebrews or Israelites or something to that effect. But anyways, he has to tie these two sticks together so that they become one stick in his hand. Jesus, obviously. Let's see. Maybe I missed it up here. Oh, where is it? No, I'm missing it. The envy of Ephraim. Isaiah 11. That's why. All right. So over in Isaiah 11, we're also talking about the branch and the two sticks becoming one. Let's see. So yeah, the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. See, in the story of the prodigal son, Ephraim leaves and goes and squanders his inheritance, while Judah stays home and obedient to some extent. They added to the law, but that's not necessarily here or there. It's just the fact that they elevated their additions to the point of it being equal or above God's law. But anyways, Ephraim is envious because Judah is still at the house and he's woken up in a pig pen and he wants to go home. But Judah, being the older brother, is not happy when the younger brother tries to come home and the father wants to put on his best coat and ring and throw a huge party and, the best food and invite everybody over, because Judah's been there the whole time. And so I would submit to you that the two becoming one is Israel and Judah rejoining, because Israel was mixed amongst the Gentiles and then forgot who they were. That's why they're called the lost 10 tribes. So whenever you say Gentile, you could just as easily be talking about the house of Israel that has forgotten who they are and are living amongst the Gentiles. And that being said, it doesn't really matter what your race or DNA or bloodline is, because, well, they've mixed in with everybody and there's no way to tell whether you do or don't have some of that DNA in your blood. And whether you do or not doesn't really matter. What matters is where your heart's at and whether or not you're willing to obey. Because from the beginning, we've seen Gentiles be grafted in to the house of Israel. So I hope you enjoy being grafted into the house of Israel, because that's where you're at. And I hope you enjoyed learning what the two sticks becoming one are, and, the hatred and envy being gotten rid of, because we look forward to that.